Imagine standing in the middle of an endless sea of grass, wind whispering through the blades when suddenly the earth moves. Tiny heads pop up, eyes wide, scanning the horizon. A sharp chirp slices through the air. In an instant, dozens vanish back underground. You've just been noticed by the sentinels of the prairie. The question is, what have they seen in you? A friend? Or a predator? This is the hidden world of the prairie dog, one of nature's most underestimated engineers. To understand them, we have to turn the clock back millions of years, to a time when North America was not a checkerboard of cities and farmland, but a sprawling wilderness of ancient grasslands. From small, squirrel-like ancestors, prairie dogs evolved into master burrowers, their short, sturdy legs built like living shovels, and their teeth sharp enough to carve through roots and hard-packed soil. But their true survival tool wasn't muscle, it was intelligence. Over time, they developed a language of chirps, barks, and whistles so complex that scientists believe they can describe predators by type, size, and even speed. Think about that. In the middle of nowhere, these little mammals became linguistic geniuses in fur coats. Picture it. Rolling plains under a fiery sunset, herds of bison in the distance, hawks circling high above. Beneath your feet, a vast underground city hums with life. Tunnels stretch for miles, complete with nurseries, food storage rooms, and escape routes. Each prairie dog has a role. Sentinels keep watch, mothers nurse pups, others maintain the walls and entrances. It's not chaos. It's organized, cooperative, almost human. This was the prairie dog's kingdom, and they were the architects, the guards, and the citizens all in one. For thousands of years, humans coexisted with them. Some Native American tribes revered prairie dogs as symbols of community and communication, weaving them into stories that carried lessons about unity and awareness. But history shifted with the arrival of settlers in the 1800s. To pioneers, prairie dogs weren't architects. They were pests. Their elaborate burrow systems were seen as threats to livestock, and the animals themselves as competitors for grass. What followed was an era of mass poisoning and shooting campaigns. By the early 20th century, an estimated 98% of the original prairie dog population had been wiped out. It wasn't just about losing an animal, it was about unraveling an ecosystem. You see, prairie dogs are a keystone species. Their digging aerates the soil, their clipped grass encourages plant diversity, and their colonies provide food and shelter for animals like the burrowing owl, black-footed ferret, and pronghorn. Erase the prairie dog, and you pull a thread that starts to unravel the entire prairie tapestry. Of course, humans being humans, we've also swung to the other extreme, trying to keep them as pets. While baby prairie dogs look like something straight out of a cartoon, they're not meant for apartment life. Their social needs, digging instincts, and specialized diets make captivity stressful. And yet, prairie dogs have found themselves in roadside petting zoos, cramped cages, and exotic animal markets. The irony? The same species once deemed a pest has also been turned into a novelty. Fast forward to today, and the challenges prairie dogs face are as urgent as ever. The vast open prairies that were once their world have been carved into highways, suburbs, and industrial farmland. Habitat loss remains the biggest threat, with less than 2% of their original range intact in some areas. And then there's disease. Sylvatic plague, a bacterial infection spread by fleas, can wipe out entire colonies in weeks. Imagine a bustling underground city, silent, almost overnight. In some places, climate change has joined the list of threats. Drought shrivels the grass they depend on, while extreme weather can flood burrows or bake the soil into hardpan. In others, prairie dogs are still legally poisoned to protect grazing land for cattle, despite research showing that healthy prairie dog colonies can coexist with livestock when managed carefully. In short, the prairie dog has been caught in a centuries-long tug-of-war between survival and human convenience. But here's the twist. Saving prairie dogs isn't just about saving a small, chubby rodent. It's about saving the idea that every creature has a role in the web of life. In South Dakota's Buffalo Gap National Grassland, for example, prairie dog reintroduction has helped revive populations of the endangered black-footed ferret. In Arizona, biologists have used relocation instead of extermination, moving prairie dogs to protected reserves where they can rebuild their cities in peace. And in Colorado, school kids have been part of citizen science projects to map and monitor colonies, turning curiosity into conservation. Still, it is worth asking, why should we care about an animal most people will never see outside of a nature documentary? Because prairie dogs are living proof that big changes often start underground, literally. They teach us about cooperation, adaptation, and the delicate balance of ecosystems. And maybe, just maybe, they remind us that size has nothing to do with significance. Sure, they're cute, but they're also survivors. Survivors who've outlasted glaciers, predators, and even centuries of human hostility. The real question is, will we give them a future where their chirps still echo across the grasslands? Or will they become just another ghost in the history of North America's vanishing wilderness? If you've made it this far, you're already part of their story. You are someone who knows that the health of a prairie and of the planet can hinge on creatures that fit in the palm of your hand. So here's my challenge to you. Learn about the prairie dogs in your area, support organizations working to protect them, and speak up when you hear them dismissed as pests. Because every chirp matters, every tunnel matters, and every viewer who decides to act matters. If this journey through the life of the prairie dog has surprised you, made you smile, or maybe made you see the grasslands in a whole new way, then help keep the conversation going. Like this video, share it with someone who loves wildlife. Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next wild adventure. The prairie still has stories to tell, and together we can make sure they're not silenced.